Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and today we are going to discuss the streaming wars. Oh my God, I'm just losing my mind. This is getting so frustrated. We created streaming platforms to sort of stop cable and all the sort of tiers and all the channels that we didn't need. And now what we're doing is creating so many streaming services we have to pay separate for that now they're filling it with stuff we don't need. And we're going to end up having to go back to one aggregate of all the streamers. It's just giving me a headache. But I wanted to do this topic because it was suggested on Twitter. So please hit me up on Twitter if you have a suggestion you want me to do. This one came from Ricardo, one of my favorites. Thank you, Ricardo. Discuss all the streaming services and price points. I will happily do that for you. This is starting because NBC Universal just announced Peacock, the latest streaming site to join all of the others. And I'm going to go in and compare what all of this will cost you, so stay tuned. Please hit that subscribe button, notification bell if you like this type of content, because YouTube's algorithm sucks. But here we go. NBC Universal's announces Peacock as the name of its streaming service and unveils all its content. And so they will have The Office and Parks and Rec. The Office being a huge get for NBC. It's one of Netflix's it's the highest performer on Netflix. It's one I will go to a lot. So they're not only going to have Office, Parks and Rec, and a lot of the other classic shows. They'll also have access to the Olympics and a bunch of other new content. They're also going to have content from Bravo, E, and then Universal Pictures. So it's a pretty big library that Universal has. I mean, Lorne Michaels and Saturday Night Live, 30 Rock, all of that stuff. So they have some new shows. Dr. Death, which is based on the crime podcast, will star Alec Baldwin and Christian Slater. They're also doing a Battlestar Galactica reboot from Mr. Robot's Sam Esmail, which is pretty interesting. They're doing a version of Brave New World starring Demi Moore, and then a lot of other Emmy Rossum and starring in One of Us is Lying. This is original dramas. They're also making a new show from Mike Schur, who did Office and A Good Place, starring Ed Helms, called Rutherford Falls, and Straight Talk from Rashida Jones. And then they're also doing a reboot of Saved by the Bell, starring Slater and Elizabeth Berkley. And then Punky Brewster is also getting a reboot. And then they're bringing back AP Bio, Psych. Oh, no, he was from Psych and AP Bio. They're bringing back an all-new season of AP Bio. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. Lorne Michaels is doing a show. Jimmy Fallon's doing another talk show. Seth Meyers has this person, Amber Ruffin, I've never heard of, but doing a new show. And then it's obviously all of the timeless titles, as they call it. This is where the streaming wars will win or lose based on what studio's library, old stuff and new stuff. But now they're so clinging upon all their old titles, which back in the day they'd sell to syndication. Now they own it for the digital rights. And Office is the crown jewel right now. Parks and Rec, 30 Rock, Battlestar Galactica, Cheers. I mean, you can see all the list here. Frasier, Friday Night Lights, House. It's a big Top Chef. Saturday Night Live is a big one. That's 45 seasons of content. 2 seasons of Will of Grace. It's a lot of content, so the Universal can own that. So good on them. Add to that Universal Pictures. So if you're at Universal Studios and you see those movies, they're going to have a lot of stuff, including DreamWorks, Shrek, Kung Fu Panda, How to Train a Dragon, and then movies like American Pie, Knocked Up, Meet the Fockers, Beautiful Mind, Back to the Future, Brokeback Mountain, Casino, Do the Right Thing, E.T., Field of Dreams, Jaws, Mamma Mia, Breakfast Club, Fast and the Furious, the Bourne movies. Guys, this is a pretty good library, so I can't knock them there. And then they're going to have a bunch of Spanish programming through Telemundo and stuff. And look, it's a pretty big thing. They haven't announced price point, but The Office alone is going to make them. And then interesting battle. They're definitely trying to do some remakes, but I don't know, man. I have the box set on The Office. I'm going to go back to buying DVDs, I think, because if we just buy the DVD, we own all the ones we want. We can watch what we want. We don't have to have these streaming services. And then when your internet's down, you don't have to worry about it. That's what I'm going to start doing. We'll go back to the apocalyptic way. But that's not the only one that came forward. HBO Max is now also announced. For those of you who aren't familiar, they scored Friends. So Friends, which you'd think would be on NBC, nope. Warner Brothers owns that now. And that, along with Cinemax, all the programming from HBO, Cinemax, New Line, DC Entertainment, CNN, TNT, TBS, True TV, Turner Classic Cartoon Network, all will be on this. This will probably be expensive because people already have HBO Go. That has a cost. This will be probably, I'm guessing, around $18 a month to have all this too. But you're going to get Friends, which will be leaving Netflix, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pretty Little Liars, Batwoman, Riverdale, and all the CW shows, as well as exclusive rights to Doctor Who, Top Gear, Luther, other BBC shows here. And then they got Two and a Half Men, They also just paid a fortune for Big Bang Theory. Now, whether you like the show or not, it's a hugely popular show, still huge in syndication. And Deadline is estimating that they paid $600 million to have the rights to Big Bang Theory. That is crazy. It's crazy. So that's what it is. The Office deal was 500 plus. Did they actually acknowledge it? But it's shocking that the Office was worth more than that, I guess, because NBC decided to keep it. But Friends made 425. But Big Bang Theory is newer, recent, and has more episodes, so that went up a little bit higher. But the fact that HBO Max dropped top dollar shows who's going to win and how this streaming wars works. Now, look, that's where we are. That's where we stand. On top of that, other news, since we're talking streaming, Seinfeld just got purchased by Netflix, which will come out in 2022. No, at the end of 2020, I was right. At the end, it's on Hulu currently, so they made a big deal. Good on Jerry. They're still making tons of money. They made a big deal with Hulu, and now Netflix will be the exclusive home to Seinfeld in new 4K transfer, which will be interesting because if you don't actually know, this video and Slashfilm does it, but to show you as quickly as I can. This video on there showed a very good example of how that works. Because how do you make a 4K version? Well, all these old shows, they would show them in 4:3 ratio, but they shot it in film. So they would go back for widescreen TVs and they would just crop it and zoom in. But now, in theory, you could make a 4K and show it all and do it really big. So TBD, but that would be interesting to see sort of a full-scale Seinfeld episode. Could be interesting. But Netflix will have that rights. And that just brings us down to, like, what are we doing? What is all of this? What does all of this mean? This is what it means. Let's get to this. I put together this quick Google sheet to sort of show you. Currently, Netflix is $9 to $16 a month. Hulu is $6 to $12 a month. CBS All Access is $6 to $10 a month. HBO Go is currently $15 a month. Amazon Prime is $10 to $13. It's $13 if you pay by month. It's $10 if you pay for the year in advance. And then YouTube Premium, which is YouTube Originals, but sort of falling back on content. That's $12. So basically, if you want all the things that already exist, you're paying $58 to $78 a month. I mean, that is not cheaper than cable. Now we're at higher than cable costs. Add to that the $7 cost of Disney Plus, which we all know well and good. And now $5 for Apple Plus, apparently, although it comes free if you buy an Apple device. And then TBD on Peacock, NBC. I don't know what they're going to charge there. That'll be very telling. And then HBO is TBD, but I'm going to guess around the $18. But let's assume this is $8 and that's $18. We're looking at $12 to $23 to buy the new ones, which means all in all, if you want every streaming service that currently exists, there'll be more, I'm sure. You're talking $70 to $100 to own all of these streaming services. And I dare you to look at this. Which ones are really worth it? I mean, Netflix currently seems like it's worth it, but once a lot of these licensed shows go away, will it retain it? What are the original series that are keeping people to come back? Stranger Things is going to die at some point. What else is there? Hulu? We'll see how Disney puts all the sort of 20th Century Fox stuff there. Hulu is TBD, but currently I like Hulu. Hulu has a lot of TV series, like you can watch Rick and Morty and stuff there currently, but that'll all probably shift over the next year or so. CBS All Access, I don't know what the hell they're thinking. That's just not worth it. I want to watch Picard, but I don't want to pay $10 a month for that. HBO Go, I buy it when Game of Thrones was on, and then I stopped. So will they be able to sustain a $15 monthly fee? I think HBO Max is a much smarter move. I'd be more inclined to do all of it than just part of it. Amazon, I like Amazon. Plus, you get Amazon Prime and it ships you early. So Amazon's doing smart. I don't think Apple Plus content's going to get as good as Prime yet, but eventually, if they keep investing, it could. And $5 is definitely cheaper, but I would get it for free with an Apple product. I'm not going to pay separately. And then YouTube, no, I'm not paying that. Although YouTube TV, I actually do enjoy. That's how I get cable right now, and it gives you unlimited DVR. It's not an ad. I use it. It's pretty good. But it doesn't have Comedy Central, the Viacom stuff. So it has CBS, but not some of this stuff. But Disney Plus, I'm probably going to try. What I see them doing with Disney Plus, be warned, they're giving a lot of deals. I got one in the mail. Save $10 if you buy a year. Save $30 if you buy 2 years. They want you to buy several months in advance because they know it's going to wear off by January. They're not going to have that much early on. They're going to have a lot to start. Everyone's going to be fancy. Woohoo! Then they're all going to burn through it, and they're going to like, all right, well, I've watched all this. Now what? And they have a lot of Marvel shows coming out like once every quarter and every season. So I think it's smart. They want to lock in their subscribers early so you stay there so they can show the bottom line of, we have 1 million subscribers. And so it's smart that they're doing these prepackaged deals. But if you're a fan, notice they're offering those deals. At the same time, no, you haven't tried it yet. It may not be worth a monthly fee. You may want to try it for a month and then watch The Mandalorian and then bolt and then decide to come back later when some of the Marvel shows come. So we'll see about that. As of right now, this total cost with Peacock, I need to know what it costs. I have to say, of all the ones, they have a pretty big library. Peacock and HBO Max is Warner Brothers versus Universal versus Disney. That's where it sort of makes sense. But CBS is like Viacom, so they're the outlier. Paramount is really, I guess that's what it is. CBS All Access needs to just be, it's every major studio really, and then Netflix, and then Amazon are what are going to own these. That's what's going to ultimately win. And then who has the best library, old and new? I do think eventually it's going to cannibalize themselves, and they're going to have to sort of combine efforts. But it'll be interesting to see. What do you guys think? Out of this list that you're staring at right here, what are you going to pay for? Show me. Tell me in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Are you going to buy them all? Are you going to buy a couple of them? I want to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, please subscribe. I'll be back with some more videos, and we're live here Wednesday night, 9 p.m. as usual. So I hope to see you guys there. Thanks, everybody. Bye.